name is Lely from Magister Business Administration of ITB. Today I'm going to present about the example of capital budgeting. So, capital budgeting refers to the process of planning expenditures that give rise to revenues or returns over a number of years. Investment project can be undertaken to replace worn-out equipment, reduce costs, expand into new products and markets, or meet government regulations. One interesting example case of capital budgeting implementation happened in Pennzoil. So, Pennzoil is one of American oil company. In December 1987, after 4 years of litigation, Pennzoil settled its case against Texaco for $3 billion in cash. Texaco agreed to pay Pennzoil for illegally inducing Getty Oil to break a merger agreement with Pennzoil. Pennzoil finally received the money in 1988 in amount of $2.5 billion after paying the legal expenses and taxes. It was a really big money compared with Pennzoil $2.6 billion total assets and $1.9 billion sales. As a result, it catapulted Pennzoil from number 391 to number 220 among all publicly traded companies in the United States. The question at that time was, what should Pennzoil do with that $2.5 billion money? This is a capital budgeting challenge, and Pennzoil had several options. First option was to put the money in treasury bills or T-bills. The second option was to retire Pennzoil debt. The third option was to pay a one-time dividend. And the fourth option, or the last one, was to triple Pennzoil oil reserves through acquisition. Among these four options, only the fourth provided the opportunity to avoid large lump sum tax penalty. The reason was that income from using the cash settlement to acquire oil and gas properties would be taxed over a subsequent 20 or 30 years. However, after doing deeper valuation, estimating the net present value and internal rate of return, Pennzoil finally decided to do a little of each option. It used $400 million to repurchase 5.3 million shares of its stock, and it raised the common stock dividend by 36% to $3 per share. Pennzoil also used nearly $2 billion to acquire 8% stake in Chevron Corporation to shelter it from taxes. Pennzoil argued that Chevron stock represented an investment in replacement property similar to that lost to Texaco. Therefore, it should not be treated as taxable property. However, the Internal Revenue Services thought otherwise, and at the end, Pennzoil was settled to pay $455 million. Later, after 1988 and working out with many scenes of actions, Pennzoil was acquired by Royal Dutch Shell for $1.8 billion in 2002. The final net worth of Pennzoil was only $0.7 billion. Had Pennzoil invested its net worth in treasury bills, perhaps the situation would be different. It probably would have $10 billion in 2002 instead of only $0.7 billion. So this is an example that shows us how important it is to understand the principle of capital budgeting. There are several rules of thumb in valuing a project investment. For example, a firm should undertake a project only if the net present value or NPV of the project is positive. Alternatively, the project should be undertaken if the internal rate of return exceeds the cost of capital to the firm. A decision maker should also be aware of micro and macroeconomic projections that might influence the capital budgeting valuation. And finally, it is also very important to review projects after they have been implemented. At the heart of matter, it is the responsibility of decision maker to draw up investment plans carefully and ensure that their predictions are fulfilled. So guys, that is the wrap up of my topic for today. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a nice day.